So James, for many years now I've avoided the subject of continuous improvement, Lean, Six Sigma, Kaizen like the plague. Yeah. And that's really because I'm in the business of business improvement, but I find continuous improvement programs the most inhuman of processes and the most debilitating of things on workforces. Now, when you joined the team, you changed that for me, because for the first time ever you presented a human face to continuous improvement, and you showed me that it wasn't all about process and stuff like that. So I just wanted to kind of speak to you about what's the difference that you bring, where so many other people have disengaged me. Why are you different to me?
Well, for me, it's the missing piece from so many change programs is, as you've said already, that human side of change. And I think too many organisations, too many senior teams think of change as some kind of mechanistic process where you set the strategy, you turn the handle, and everything else will just follow. But we know that that's not the way it works. And organisations are a group of people, this is my own opinion, an organisation is a group of people lined up behind a common vision or a common purpose. And unless we engage everyone in achieving that common purpose, then actually the likelihood of achieving it is going to be hard work. I wouldn't say it's impossible, it would be hard work, because we'll be cracking the whip, and we'll try all sorts of carrot and stick approaches to get people to change and move towards that final objective. But why don't we make it so much more easy for ourselves, for our people, for our customers, for our leaders, everyone from the boardroom down to the front line, and find a way of engaging everybody so that they can see for themselves the contribution that they're making, that we'll listen to them. Because I can guarantee you that when people go home at night, if they're not being listened to in the workplace, they'll be going home to their wives, their husbands, their partners, their boyfriends, girlfriends, their children, saying, if they just listen to me, if they would just do this, if they only realised how much time I spend doing the same activity over and over again, when they just made this slight change to this program or the way that we operate, what a difference that would make to not just my experience as an employee, not just to us as an organisation and the time that we save doing that, and the money that we save by doing that, but let's think about the difference that we're making to our customers as a result of that. Now, when we really tap into the way that our people are thinking and the great ideas that they have, because I come from a place where people doing the job know best how to do it. When I start tapping into your expertise in terms of the way that you do what you do, and I start allowing that to come into the way that we achieve our strategies and objectives, then actually one thing's for sure, you're going to be much more aligned with it and on board with it. And when we do that across the whole organisation, start igniting the passion, the energy and the excitement throughout the whole layers of the organisation, actually it makes achieving those goals and objectives that much easier, and on top of that, that much more fun as well, so that people aren't just coming into work thinking, oh, another drudge day at the office or within the organisation. They can see, I call this line of sight, there's that common vision where we want to get to as an organisation. I can see where I fit on the continuum in terms of achieving those goals and objectives, and everyone throughout the organisation can see their place, and everything that we do can gradually build and build and build to ultimately achieving those goals, adding value for customers, engaging employees, even making middle managers feel like actually there's a real sense of purpose now for what I'm here to do, because it's not just this stuff being thrust down upon me that I need to be then pushing down the organisation to get everyone to do. Common threads, common purpose, energy, excitement, passion, it just makes everything so much easier.
And I think that's the key theme from I'm remembering the time in Bolton when we worked together, and I just saw you weave magic in about 5 minutes flat, because I did see the reactions on the audience. Here we go, another change guy. Yeah. And you just brought it to life by making it easy. Why do you think it's that you're kind of a bit of a lone voice that makes it easy, where everybody else chooses to take the complicated path? Yeah. What is it that's made you do that?
The crux of it is that I've been on the other side. I mean, I started my working life as an engineer, sat on a bench, fixing things. Fixing radio systems, fixing mobile phones, long time ago. And I experienced a boss who allowed me to put my ideas forward. And he would listen to me with interest, understand the pain and the discomfort and the bottlenecks and the barriers that I was facing every day that were stopping me from doing a great job and delivering excellent service to our customers. He was somebody who allowed himself and gave himself permission to tap into my own thoughts, creativity on solving everyday business problems. He wasn't coming to me and saying, James, I think you should be doing this, or why aren't you achieving this? You know what your targets are, this is what you're expected to do, get on and do it. Rather he was saying, let me understand what's going on, and allowed me to come up with the solutions that fitted with the work that I was doing. When those were put into place, what did it do for me? A, it solved my problems and made it easier because the problem that I was solving for myself was one that was shared by a number of engineers, but also engaged me in that whole activity, in that process. It made me think that actually, yeah, they really want to listen to what I have to say. And often, again, in organisations we can say that we're empowering people, but we don't listen to them. We send them all the right signals, but actually we're not interested. No, actually, I use the words, but I don't want you to be really doing that. If we're really empowering people, really taking on board what they have to say, giving them permission to speak up and make changes to what they're doing within their own workplace, within their own team and department, then actually what a difference that's going to make. Because they're going to be on board, they're going to be engaged, they're going to be making those small continuous changes that over time just build up to a big impact across the whole organisation.
And I think that's something that I saw in you, and I do see in you when you do delivery. It's that you don't force feed models. I don't think I've ever heard you mention a model or a technique. I know they must be there in the background, but it's a very, very collegiate way of working. You're constantly listening. Is that because you've experienced the power of being listened to, where everybody else is, will talk jargon and use formula? You tend to just allow that natural creativity to come out. Do you find that's just giving you those results?
I think the language is very important I use.
Yeah.
And you're right, that I could bombard people with all this terminology and statistical ways of thinking.
What is the Kaizen, the Six Sigma, how many mistakes in how many?
3.64 defects per million opportunities for error.
See, that's scary.
But what does that really mean for people? Really what that means is that we need near perfect quality. We've got to be focusing on 0 defects, doing everything right first time. The more we put this into everyday language for everyday people, the more they're going to buy into it, the easier it's going to become to actually use this and make the difference.
That's brilliant. So, in quick terms, if I'm a chief exec and I've got a business, an organisation, what's the best bit of advice you can give me right now to get a change programme going?
Get completely clear on the value that you're trying to provide to your customers. Get the strategies for delivering that value right. And behind that strategy, engage the energy, the passion, the power of your employees to really help you put those strategies into place and make a really successful business.
That sounds cool. And equally, if I'm on the receiving end or I'm doing the change programme, what's your best advice for me?
Keep doing what you're doing. Speak up when you see something that needs to change. And just keep focused on delivering value to the customers every single day. That's where you'll start to make a difference, and people will start to listen to you because they see that value you're creating in what you do.
That's fantastic. Thanks for that, James.
You're welcome.
Mate.
Thanks, Steve.